Hello. 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 Well, I'd like to invite everybody to join me today. We're going to be doing some wonderful practice work with our eBrush, and I am going to switch cameras in just a few minutes, but I just wanted to let everybody know that this is going to be a great show. So please come and visit me. Hi, Debbie Touye with the Craftwell eBrush. And what we're going to do today is we're going to practice, because practice makes perfect. And by the way, I'm going to be initiating a design team call coming up. The design team will be based on people that have perhaps used their brush in a variety of ways, but I need to start seeing some practice pieces. And so we're going to get started, and welcome to you. We're going to start with doing practice because it is really great. All of us know that we can use our eBrush in a very neat style. We can take wonderful little stencils and lay them out. Take our great pens. I'm going to use the Spectrum Noir. Again, just to show you, it goes in. Now, these particular ones are hard to put in for a lot of people because I want to show you, it's got a little vinyl sleeve here that makes it resistive. If you have issues with it, either put a little talcum powder right here or just, as silly as it sounds, just a little Vaseline, not much, just a little bit to lubricate it, and you'll find that it'll slide in that sleeve so much easier because these are new. You also may have to take your brush and you may have to adjust that tip so that it falls right along the nozzle to blow air. By the way, I was speaking with someone today and they said, well, they thought if they pushed it in all the way that it would be set. Right away, I hope you can see what the problem would be if I pushed it all the way in. It would actually restrict the airflow. So instead of pushing it all the way in and seating it, you're going to pull it back a little bit, and I always use practice seat, but you have to find that sweet spot. So let's talk about the sweet spot. In order to find it, take your scrap paper, put it down. This is every time you start, and I love this because I can use this for great backgrounds for other things. And the colors are so transparent they show through, but I love doing this. So the first thing that we're going to do is learn how to seat that marker. I'm going to put it all the way up on high speed. You'll notice nothing's happening. By the way, to stop vibrations, this is great. This is shelf liner, and it really does hold my machine steady for me. I put it under the machine. When I draw back on the trigger, that's when the compressor starts. You'll notice that I have no color at all. So what I'm going to do is take my thumb, hold it open, and I'm going to push that marker in, and I'm going to pull it out a little bit and aim it down, and you can see, and you can even hear it. It'll make a shh sound when it's ready. So just to show you, pull it back, and you'll find that sweet spot. And don't be fooled, because if you push it all the way in, see how the airflow is, you can't even hear the airflow. It's coming around the nib. But pull back just a little bit, and you will see that you can find that sweet, sweet, sweet spot. And even when you do that, sometimes you have to kind of go back and hold it up. You can hear it. It's making the shh sound. And see how beautiful and fine my line is? This is wonderful. I really enjoy using this. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you. For stencils, it's really cool. All you have to do is hold your stencil down. Now, what I do is if I don't want a blurred line and I want it all clean, I'm going to mask it. But you can use spray adhesive on it. Just spray adhesive, stick it down, and it'll hold it. Put it on. Now I'm just going to use the edge of the stencil. I'm not going to color it in, just the edge. And watch what happens. Is that not beautiful? It just gives me that nice little effect. Now if I wanted to go ahead and do it, now I believe in taking steps. I'm going to use my hand to mask the other items, and I'm not using my wrist, I'm using my whole arm, back and forth and then up and down, because I want to try and not make it look so splotchy. If I come in closer, I can get it darker. It concentrates the flow. So you have two different ways. Try and just do the outline and don't shake like me. Pull out a little bit to diffuse it. See, the further out you get, the wider part, and you have something that's just really adorable. These can be used, by the way, on fabric as well. Now, the most important thing is we need to get started on some practice. Yes, you're going to use it for stencils. You're going to use it to do cute little things like this. I love this butterfly. He is just one of my favorites. But what I want you to be able to do, too, is to take it a next step. If you want to use it in a painterly fashion, where you're doing maybe some artwork or some masking with stencils, or even to do stamps, I want you to learn how to control this brush, much like you would an airbrush. Now, the difference between this and an airbrush, of course, is with an airbrush, especially a double action, when you push down on it, it gives you airflow. Pull back, you get the paint. With an eBrush, you have airflow and you have the 3 speeds with a unit. So what we're going to start doing is, no matter what color you want, just pick a color. Any color will do. I'm going to pick purple. Purple's always a good color for me. I'm going, again, if yours is tight, put a little talcum or just a little bit of Vaseline, just a little, on that rubber right here. This vinyl is what makes it hard sometimes to get it in. Press it in. Again, take your practice sheet. I know you're a crafter, you're an artist, you know that it's okay to do the little practice sheet first. Even if you're in a rush, it's going to give you the best output. I'm going to pull it. I think that's the problem. A lot of people think that they need to seat it all the way down at first, and the idea is just to find that sweet spot. Look at that. There's my sweet spot. What happens is when I do it, I get so excited because I'm showing you, and I pull it back. So you pull back. It would help if I pulled back. Okay, so there's our spot. And you see the marker gives us beautiful lines. I don't know if you can tell or not, but there's even, see where I've got a little bit of that, the pattern for the stenciling? I don't know if you can see it, but it's actually popping out now. One of my stencils I had on here. So what we're going to do for practice, if practice makes perfect, is first learn how to make a line, because it's going to be important. I'm going to show you how to do blended lines. Let me show you what a blended line is. I've got my marker set up, but you know, sometimes you get ahead of yourself. How many times have you had a project and you needed to have a blended line? A blended line is where you start darker and then go to lighter. You can do it with your eBrush. So the idea, though, is to get busy and to practice. I love this. It's like that big roll of paper. And for any of you that are new to me, I'm one of these people. I'm going to share everything that I can with you to get you started. And if you have any questions or concerns, you can email me. You can contact me through the eBrush Facebook group. This is a roll of color paper that you can get at Wally World. And I actually bought the 3-pack. It came with 2 of these and then a large one. This is actually 12 inches wide by 25 feet. I have it on my table. It's got a roll in here and a roll in there, and I just roll it and keep working with it. So it's a great little tool, and I think the whole thing was $11. That way I'm not wasting cardstock, I'm not wasting important paper, and this can actually use wet medium, so it's not going to curl up on you. But the idea, too, is when you're using an eBrush, you don't want to sit there and make it pool and get wet. The idea is to make it so that it dries quickly and so it doesn't change your paper type. So, and by the way, I want to show you this, which is remarkable. I was using the other side. Now, this is newsprint. And look, that's what's on the other side, and it didn't bleed through. So that's pretty good. That's telling you that you're getting some good ink out of there, but not a lot of push through saturation, which I really like, because that means I'm going to have these longer. So let's see what we can do. Now, I'm going to get rid of my little line so that you can see more of the screen. Give me just a minute to get over there. That's what I love, too, about this unit. It's got that magnet in it that will hold my brush for me. I don't want to leave it too long. Give me just a second. Let me just turn it off so we can get going. All right, the idea is this. When you're using your eBrush, now we've got the sweet spot going, and you want to start off by doing lines. Now remember, you're not going to use your wrist. First off, you would wear your wrist out. I actually move my whole arm. It's more a shoulder movement. So I'm going to start, and remember, the closer you are, the more concentrated, the further out you are, the more diffuse. So there's something called dagger strokes in airbrushing. And just to show you, you'll see it starts close and then comes far away. Once you get that, you can get a lot of stuff going. So I would like you, and it's just practice, don't worry about what it's called. I want you to just do lines. Start close and lift up. Start close and lift up. Just lines. And I don't care if you go over and over and over. Every day I come back here and do lines. Now I have to tell you, mine are a little crooked because I'm at an angle. I also like to work with it up on an easel, which we'll get to. I'm redoing my studio so that we can have a better video experience. But I want you to just do lines. Just do lines. Back and forth, back and forth. You'll notice, too, since I'm at an angle, they curve up. But the closer you get, the darker the line. And it's really important to get that going. Also, one of the next things I'd like you to do is to practice polka dots. Dots. Quick, 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 quick. That's going to give you control, and that's the whole idea behind using this eBrush. Control, control. Don't be upset if you double do them. It's all right. Nobody's going to see it but you, and you can use this for background on a project. Look at that. It's going to give me the ability to do many other things by the control that I have on this brush, and that's my whole desire. Also, take your brush and learn how to just do some little manipulations. It's okay to do use. Anything like that that's going to help us. Use. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I want you to really get a good hang. Now you'll notice I am using my arm on this. I'm trying not to use my wrist, because there's actually a school of thought that says your brain can control your arm better than it can your hand. So it's a way to get started. Remember, back and forth, back and forth. Don't be afraid to stand back from it. I think, too, so many people get concerned because when they're up close it doesn't look like much. It's what you see far away. And this is all about the practice part. So, again, I want you to practice, practice, practice. And those little dots, put it on real low speed and see if you can make them smaller. Look at that. I don't know if you can see, but I'm making the dots much smaller. Dot. It's pull quick, pull quick, pull quick and let it go. Pull quick and let go. So get with it. Do those kind of things. Circles. I think that's also something that's really important. When you're using your eBrush, don't be afraid to take a pencil. Let's take a pencil. Let's take something, kids. Take a pen, take a pencil. Go back in and make a circle. Now, you could use a mask, but just start and see how much you can control it. See how much you can control it. Just keep it in line. You can do it. Then you can venture out and then start just making your own circles without. It's all about just getting that airflow. Lines, 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 circles, circles, and don't be afraid. Now you'll see that I do have some overspray, but not as much as you would think. And so the whole idea is to get more control over it, more and more control. Apparently I lost my only viewer, but that's okay. I hope that, hey, who is it? Tell me hello. Chat with me. Can you hear me? I see that I have a viewer, but I'm trying to find out if you can hear me. Again, it's just learning how to control it. Don't be afraid, too, because this is important, because this can also be used not just for your scrapbooking, but it's always good to have control on an object. So do your loops, 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 all about control. It's like making a capital E. See, it's going to give you more control, and that's the whole thing. Once you start to feel that, then you're going to be very confident about using your brush. Then you can start doing things like blended lines. And to do a blended line, and a lot of people will use these for backgrounds. Now remember, a blended line, you're going to start with a heavy-duty line. You're going to lift. I'm sorry. Lift. Notice I'm not changing it. Lift. Lift. Look, I'm not moving my brush up. Do you see I'm just lifting it? Do you see how I got the blended line? Watch again, because if you see, let me flip this over. I think it's really, really cool, because when you're making a blended line, you'd think that you would walk it up. But watch what I'm doing. I'm making a line. Then I've got a little lift. Notice my brush, a little bit more lift. I'm not actually moving it up. My hands are shaking. I'm sorry. A little bit more, but look at the position of the brush. I'm lifting a little bit more. I'm lifting a little bit more. I'm not going after it. Look at that. Can you see how it blended up without me moving it? I started here, but as I lifted up, it became more diffuse, and that's how it gave me that pattern. So, do you like it? Viewers, chat away. I can't see you. But that's one of the techniques, too. Practice. Remember, it's starting. Let me change colors so you can see it again. I surely wish that I had better response where I could see and see you chatting. If you look over to the right-hand side, if you are logged in to Gmail or Google, you can actually chat with me. Again, if it's tight, if you're using the Spectrum Nor and they're tight, just put a little talcum powder. I like to actually put a little bit of Vaseline, not lots, just a little tiny touch, because what happens is this vinyl is resistive to the plastic. So you go in, put it in, and just see how tight mine is? But there I go. I've got it. Now, I also know, and I know it sounds like I'm going over and over this again. A lot of people have the tendency to push it all the way in thinking that's going to work. Well, I'm going to show you. When I push it all the way in, can you see how it would block the airflow? Watch. It's going to work now. But it is blocking my airflow. That's why I'm getting the big, big line. So I'm going to pull it back just a little bit so that the nozzle can run the line. And what it does is it'll give me a little bit finer line. Let me show you. When you're doing it and it's really tight in there, see how it's big and it's like a big blob? That's good. There we go. So, to do the blended line again, all you're going to do is you start with your dark line. Let me put it down a little bit. You start with your dark line. I've really got this one. It's juicy. I'm going to come up. I'm going to come up. I'm going to come up. I'm not going towards it. I'm just lifting up. I'm going to come back down to try and fill in some of the... Remember, I'm going to lift up, lift up, lift up. If you notice, it's not moving, but you see how I'm blending the line? That's how it works. A lot of people want to track up with it. Don't. Just blend it in. Let me change again. I'm trying to get something that really, you can see the difference a little bit better. Let me get something red. Something red. Red, 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 red. Oh, and by the way, when you go to put your markers back in, especially these light ones, check to see if you have another color on them so you can wipe them off. Again, it is a tight fit, but I know that I'm just going to push. See how I got a little black on my marker? When I go to put it back up, what I will do is take a paper towel and just get that off of there so that it doesn't go inside and ruin my color. So, take my scrap paper, always important. See? See how it's blocking the airflow? I'll push it all the way in. I'm going to pull back. And I can hear that it's hit that spot. Now this one's working a little bit finer. Markers are all different. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this around and give you another blended line. I love this because I can practice. I buy these tablets at Dollar Tree, the rolls. I play all the time with it. So when we're doing a blended line, we're going to do come close and do your dark line. Don't shake. Now, don't travel up. Just lift the brush. Just lift the brush. Don't travel. Just lift. Just lift. Lift. Do you see my hand staying in the same place? But see how the color's going up? And I'm going to come back down, close, 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 close to try and make this a little bit darker. Do you see how I blended it? It's not moving my hand up the thing. It's strictly close. Pull it back. Pull it back. Pull it back. Pull it back. See? Isn't that wonderful? It is a lot of fun. And remember, it's all about learning how to control the brush. We can all do wonderful edge work on our coffee filters and things like that for our projects, but I'm going to tell you, nothing feels the same as being able to pull this in and to give it a twirl and make it yours. And again, don't be afraid to go in there and make circles. Make beads, make pearls. Another good, this is an excellent practice too, and I believe practice makes perfect. Go in there and learn how to make, now I'm going to turn it up a little bit, make dots, 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 dots. Believe me, it seems really silly, but those things can really help. So I really believe in doing a lot of lines. It's hard because it's all blending in now, but line work, line work, line work. I have pages and pages where that's all I do. And the reason why I do that is because it's going to make me have more control over my brush when I use a regular airbrush. You know, I do t-shirts, I do illustration with it. I'm going to tell you that one of the greatest things is to be able to control it. Now, for a lot of people, when they're using this, they're going to use it for different things. One of my favorite things, though, is to get out there and do a little work. And I know that you've probably seen this before, but I just want to share with you. This, I don't know if you can see it or not, but this is a section of an ear of corn. And you'll notice that this is done with the eBrush. And I just laid down, this is Tombows. I just laid down the different washes, so to speak, with the brush, and then added my darks with a stencil and got the pop. And that was really something to use. That's why this practice really can help. Even when you're stenciling, the stencils or something like this, just that practice, practice, practice can really make a difference. And again, we're going to be looking for some people for the design team. And so I want you to be top of your game. And so the idea, too, is to show me what you can do. And that starts by learning how to use your brush and really doing a lot of work with it. And which one did I just take out? I will have to go back over. It's so funny. I'm going to have to go back over my brushes and check to make sure that I got all the coloring off of them. Because if you put it away and it's got some black on it or something like that, it will mess up the rest of your marker. So let's go up here and take a green. Now I like stencils, but then again I like self-expression too, and I can still do self-expression with stencils. Oh, one of the things too, because you can't see it, you'll notice that the nib sometimes moves a little bit. Don't be afraid to take out those needle nose pliers and just twist it, just gently. I'm going to align it again with the marker. Turn on my brush. It's almost at that sweet spot. You can hear, listen to the swoosh. And by the way, these markers that I'm using right now are the original ones that I got with my unit a long, long time ago. It would help too if I had it clear. So they're almost dried out, but I was trying to see how long they would last. It also helps if they're in line. By the way, you'll notice too that I carry one of these with me. Sometimes they do move a little bit. Don't be afraid to adjust. I think next week I'm going to go back to link to, because I like the ability to be able to see who's in the room. There we go. So if you're going to use a stencil, stencils are really nice. And I'm stenciling green over red, so we know that it's going to give me a gray. But what I love about the markers is they're transparent, and if you don't sit there for a long time, they don't get muddy. So you can have some really neat looking tribal work with it. It's all about having fun with your eBrush. So don't be hesitant. If you have any questions or concerns, make sure that you send me a message. Remember too that practice makes perfect. By the way, let's move on from Spectrum Noir, because I know some of you use other brushes, other things, such as let's use Sharpies. Because I hear a lot of people will tell me things like, "Oh, my Sharpie sputters all over," and yes, it's gonna take a while. See, I'm really lucky. I've got bunches of these. I'm looking for the one. Yes, it's true. Sometimes you do have to put a little, I've had to put a little tape in mine. Mine are all the warmed up ones, and I've kind of played with them a lot. So sometimes they are loose. See, this one's loose, so what I'm going to do is just take a little bit of washi tape. Yes, I love washi tape. Do you love washi tape? This is some of my favorite stuff. This is, I think it's really cute. It looks like a picnic basket. I'm going to take it. It just takes a little bit. And I'm going to miss the notches and just lay it towards the front. It's okay. Because I've heard, now I've got some great people that are actually taking theirs, and what they're doing is they're making little foam pieces until the marker adapters come. They're doing all kinds of neat, novel stuff. That's what it's about. So let's see if that's tight enough. Oh, remember, go to the side that's got the little carrot on it, put your brush in and turn. Look at that. It's really nice. It's not shaking. One little tiny piece of tape is all I needed. So then I'm going to go up here. By the way, I've been asked if the stain markers work. I just want to show you that when you put them in, you may have to, again, tape them. You can use them. I've done it. But what I have to do usually is put a piece of tape in to hold it. But I can use the stain markers. What it is primarily used for are these great, can she find them? Oh, I have the whole box. This is my weakness, y'all. I love buying these things. These are just so cool. I could have every color that Sharpie makes. Put the Sharpie in. Now, it's a little bit different than the others. And so you may find that you get a little splatter sometimes. Just keep moving until you don't. And with a Sharpie, look how fine that line is. Now, again, I can make a blurred line. I can come back, 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 back. Notice my hand is just being raised. I'm not moving higher. So I can actually blur it there. Let's see. I should say blended line. Isn't that cool? I know my computer just came up. We have a virus. I have a virus. Don't be telling me that. Again, practice makes perfect. Let's turn her back on. We start with a dark line. Now, this is a blended line. Start close to your paper. Make your initial line. Don't be shaky like me. Pull back. You don't have to move your hand. Just pull back. Okay, take your next step. Come up again. And just come up again. Come up again. And you can walk it back down if you so inclined. And we have a blended line. Now you'll notice that it's a little bit darker here because I stayed a little bit longer, but you can get the work on it. You can go back and kind of just remember, it's just move it back and forth and hold it further away. So a blended line works great. Again, go back with your Sharpie and do your dots. Now, if you bring your pressure down on your machine, see how fine you can get them. Real quick, 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 quick. It looks silly, but this is going to give you control. Control on your brush. And again, go back and make sure that you can. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. Lines, lines, lines. And I know that you're probably saying, does she ever say anything but lines? The more you do this, the more great control you're going to get with this thing. And then we're going to move on to where I show you how to take photographs and actually use your eBrush to make a portrait or a piece of art, so to speak. Don't be afraid, too, to play with it. Swirl it. Try and get those used to do, make a chain. Take the other dots that you did in one color and overlap them. See what you get, what kind of effect you get. Just have fun with it. Try and make some zebra skin. Do any kind of pattern work. These things are going to give you a great time with your eBrush. And I think it's a tool that can be used for so much. It looks like I've frozen up. So remember, it's all about the practice, and you'll have a great time with it. I will be putting together some sheets so that you can do some practice work. And again, it's only paper, and this is my practice paper, so I'm just going to flip a sheet. But I will have some circles in different shapes because I think that's really important for us to have those things to play with. And again, we're going to be having the design team call, so I need you to really practice and get it out there. Don't be, remember patterning is really good. I had somebody that used theirs for Zentangle, so you can do all kinds of stuff. You can actually take just some great Mylar and just do the edge and practice with that to get some sharp lines. It's practice, practice. And I guess that's why I enjoy the Sharpie so much, because I know that I can just wail away the days with it and have fun. I like to pretend that I'm doing blue eyes. Blue eyes. I love blue eyes. None of us have them, of course. We all have brown eyes, but and you could do drops. So there's so much that you can do with it, and it's a lot of fun. And look at this one. See how it's that way? That's because I need to reseat it. I'll go over it with another color. Let's see. Just a little edge work. Can you see Grandma coming out of there? This is me. This is my hair. I am having a lot of fun with this. And don't be afraid if it starts splattering, just to move it around a little bit. Grandma. Let me move to another color. Move to another color. Yay! Oh, look at that. That's kind of cool. Grandma needs some purple highlights in her hair. I like when it does that sometimes. It kind of gives you that thing, but again, for our project, I need to go back and pull it in a little bit. I know you think I'm crazy, but that really can you see my hand? That's me. Now what I would do for the eyes is I'm going to take, let's see if I can just touch a little bit to get the dark in there. That's why it's really important to kind of have that learn of, I'm going to do a dot real quick. Don't be scared. See, I got my dots in there. Now I can go back. Let's see if I can do this. See, don't be afraid to get in there and give it, oh, my nose. I left out my nose. Oh, wait, let's give my glasses a little twist. So you can do little caricatures of yourself. And my little lips. And you may not know this, but I got bit by something and my ear is swole up, so. It's all about having fun. And even though I'm just playing with this, I want you to know that this is giving me control. Just to go back and work on this and play. Because that is what it's all about. It's about enjoying it, just getting a feel for the lines, holding close, making shadings, pushing far. If you can do that, you're going to really enjoy using your equipment more and more. You know, I'm only out to make myself happy, and that's the whole thing of it. Now let's see if I can give myself a little. A little bit, ooh, that's kind of strange. But it's all about just playing with it and just getting an idea. So you can do it. It's all just getting started and going with it. Having fun. Enjoying what you do. And again, this is just really quickie, funny stuff, but having Sharpie, sometimes just to do some fun stuff and cut and loose, you get a lot of line work in there. I'm getting a lot of practice. It's going to help me in the long run with my other work. And again, if you see, notice how I've got kind of a really far away. Just go back and work your pen back and forth until you get a solid. It's coming right there. Now I'm going to tell you, you thought I was crazy how to start with those colors, but really and truly they kind of give you some blends to get things going. And just like my blended line, if I move away, it becomes more light. Closer in, I've got dark. So it's all about playing and having a good time. Having fun. Don't be afraid to have fun. Hoo-wee. Am I blue? Not even. But I'll tell you what I am. I'm going to give myself some little pretty pink lips. It's all about just having fun with it. Cutting loose and having fun. And again, you'll see that I've got a broad spray. This is my practice sheet, so it doesn't really matter. Can you tell the difference? See how I've reseated it? See how it's not going crazy anymore? Go in there. I'm just going to take this. I could actually use my fingers, but I'm just going to. Look at that. Grandma's got some cute little lippies. I'd give myself some earrings, but I'm not. But that's what it's all about. It's about just having fun. Let me give myself some red highlights. I've always wanted to have those little... Don't be afraid to blend and color, because you're going to find that it gives you that transparent look. So it's true. You've now seen me in blue, my self-portrait. But again, I really enjoy using the eBrush, and I think that the more that you play with it, free yourself, have a good time with it. If you have any questions or any concerns, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you. So enjoy your eBrush. Look for other videos. This was just a cute little practice. I do need to start giving us some good lessons on this, and I'll have those out with some lesson plans that will be available from our Facebook page. So just remember, it's eBrush by Craftwell on Facebook. Join us. Get more information. You don't have to have an eBrush to get started. Just come and find out about the neat stuff that's out there and have fun with us. So you thought I started with something, and I made a little grandma blue lady. So y'all have a wonderful time. Again, visit with me next week. We will have a lesson plan, and I'll have some things available for you to copy. So have a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye for now.